Alright, boys, 20 November, still raining cats and dogs here. Alright, Paystreak seems to think the ORX normalizes the frequency to 18 kilohertz, XP ORX, with all the coils. He's made reference to the low frequency calls of the X35 calls. However, I did a Google search. A thread popped up from Detector Prospector Forum. Now, this would be in the XP ORX forum. Dated 19 September 2020. A gentleman over there actually says the XP ORX normalizes the frequencies to 18 kilohertz, even using the white HF coils. How about that? He even goes on to say in the next phrase, the DAIS won't do this. Now remember, I've never admitted to running an ORX, so I don't know. And in my recommendation to XP, I mentioned ORX. Well, if it don't apply, it don't apply, okay? But the DAIS does apply. Because I've got that call, and I've got the DAIS 1 or the DAIS. So here's the next question. I looked at the user's manual for the DAIS 2. As far as I can tell, the mono program on that machine, there's no reference in that manual on what the ID is normalized to. Is it 18 kilohertz? Well, I don't know. I might could take a DAIS and compare it and maybe make a guess. Alright, but if the ORX does normalize its frequency using the elliptical HF coil, just who out there has done a video? Does it behave? I guess that's the question. Does it behave like the DAIS2 HF2 coil? Using same similar frequency for ID on, say, a few gold rings, a US nickel, and some can slaw. Does it? If it does behave like the HF2 coil on the DAIS2, just who out there has ever talked about select digging with that machine exactly? Who? The reason why I never did a video with the HF coil on the DAIS1 for select digging is because it'd be damn hard to do. Because it's not normalized. But I have talked about the HF2 coil. Yet I don't know what the frequency in the mono program is normalized to frequency-wise. Is it 18 kilohertz? Well, maybe it is. But it works. It works in multi-frequency too. Of course, the DAIS, you know, and the ORX is not multi-frequency. So, Paystreak, if you watch this video, get a couple of gold rings, a US nickel, and a couple pieces of can slaw. Compare that HF2 you have in mono program to that ORX with that elliptical call if you've got it. The HF elliptical call, how do they compare? Does it behave like the HF2 call? Well, if it does, then that tells me you could use it for select digging in mild, medium mineralized ground at the very least. Maybe not on the deepest of targets. Shallower, maybe to mid-depth. That is going to conclude the video.